Candlelight flickers against her face. She doesn't move, only her eyes, watching the flame. It's not the fire she's afraid of. It's the memory behind it. You asked who she was. I never told you, because the truth wasn't safe. Not then. Maybe not even now. A laugh, a girl's laugh, soft and distant. Then silence, cut sharp, like it had never been allowed. In Olivia's hand, a folded photograph, faded, water-stained, a girl's eyes looking out like she knew what was coming. This is the name the silence buried, but tonight, that silence ends. This is the Vicar's confession. The truth was never just his, brought to you by the hidden chapter. Every confession echoes, even the ones left unspoken. And finally, this, indeed, is the hidden chapter, the final page, the final name, the one they didn't want remembered. There's a small grave at the edge of Dunsmuir. No name, just stone, moss-covered. Sunlight rarely touches it, but someone left flowers there once, and a broken bracelet. They thought time would cover her. They thought silence would protect them, but the river remembered, and so did she. The truth isn't always loud. Sometimes it waits in the quiet, in candlelight, in the breath between pages. And when it comes back, it asks only one thing. Will you listen? She waited until no one was around, not even the wind, just the chapel, breathing in dust and silence. Behind the altar, where stone met shadow, she found it, a loose panel, a space no one had touched in years, and inside it, a single page. Not part of the journal, but written by the same hand, the vicar's hand, faded ink, shaking script. Like the words had trembled into being, she unfolded it slowly, almost afraid of what he'd finally tried to say. He named her, not in code, not in metaphor, just a name. The girl they forgot, the girl they buried with silence, and beneath her name, not a confession, a prayer. I kept your name to protect them, he wrote, but silence never really protects. It only delays the wound. I wasn't brave enough to speak then. But if someone finds this, tell her she was never forgotten. Tell her the shame was never hers to carry. Tell them I failed. Olivia couldn't move. The page trembled in her fingers, but not from cold, from truth, finally exposed. And for the first time, she understood. He didn't just hide her name, he preserved it. He buried it, like a seed, waiting for someone with enough light and enough sorrow to make it grow again. You knew who hurt her. Say it.
I didn't want to say his name. It made it real. It made me part of it.
Say it.
He was the Prime Minister's son and the judge's nephew. They were older, protected, connected to everything. He came to the chapel grounds with another boy. Sarah was just 12.
And your mother?
She knew. She said it wasn't our place to judge. She said, we serve power, not punish it. Sarah ran that day. She was bleeding. She made it to the chapel when the vicar found her.
Did he help her?
He tried. He wrapped her in his coat. He stayed with her while the nurse arrived. He didn't say anything after. None of them did.
But Sarah, she lived?
Yes. She was taken into foster care, disappeared, changed her name, but not before she left something behind.
Why didn't the truth come out?
The judge burned the report. The nurse was paid off, but the vicar kept one page. He sealed it behind the altar. A name, a prayer, a plea for someone to finish what he never could.
Where are they now?
The Prime Minister's son died of cancer, unpunished. The judge retired with honors. The other boy vanished.
And Sarah?
She's a woman now. She's working with survivors, helping others speak. She said, I was never protected by the church, but I am protecting others now. You won't silence me again.
She returned to the chapel, not with grief, but with resolve. A silence not of sorrow, but of reckoning. She didn't come to light a candle. She came to light a fuse. And this time, the shadows flinched first. The window where it all began no longer watched her. She stared back, with memory, with mercy, with names. Abigail's son watched from the edge, not forgiven, but not forgotten. He held a box, inside, one last sealed letter, signed by Sarah. She read it aloud, for every girl silenced, for every child told to be quiet, for every adult who buried truth in favor of reputation. Sarah's words were clear: no more shadows, no more shame. I carry the names now, and I do not walk alone. The worst stories don't end with silence. They end when someone finally speaks. Olivia spoke, Sarah lived, and justice didn't come with handcuffs. It came with light. Sometimes justice doesn't scream. It flickers. It whispers, I survived. I remember. I'm not finished. If this story stayed with you, don't let it stay quiet. Like it, share it. Name what they hid and speak what you once buried, because healing doesn't always look like justice. Sometimes it looks like reclaiming your voice. They tried to define you by what broke you, but they don't get the final word. You do. And healing? It comes quietly, through courage, through breath, through living beyond what was meant to silence you. Sometimes it's choosing peace over revenge. It's not weakness, it's wisdom, it's power disguised as grace. Never forget, you don't need revenge to win. You don't need their apology. You don't need the world to believe you. You need only this. You need to live, and live well, because that too is victory. You need to breathe. You need to rise. And every day you live with open hands and a whole heart, you are winning. Winning takes many shapes. Sometimes it looks like walking away whole. Sometimes it's laughter they thought you'd never find again. Sometimes it's simply still being here, still becoming. So breathe, take your voice back, take your life forward. You are not what they did. You are who you choose to become. This was the Vicar's confession. The silence has finally been broken. And this time, the silence didn't win. You did. Does this story hurt the church? No. This does not hurt Christ. Christ is not afraid of truth. He never was. He exposed the proud. He defended the shamed. He brought hidden things into the light and called that healing. He didn't silence the broken. He sat with them. So if this story feels uncomfortable, maybe it's because it follows him too closely. Not the Christ of stained glass and perfect sermons, but the one who flipped tables, stood beside women no one would touch, and called silence what it really was, a sin. This story may stir the church, but it doesn't wound the gospel. It wounds only what tried to cover truth in the name of reputation. And maybe that wound is holy, because some things need breaking before they can be made right. So if you've ever been told, don't say that, don't ask that, don't tell that story, then this chapter was for you, and Christ was never the one who wanted you silent. This is the hidden chapter, because truth still belongs in the light.
And now, a final word from the hidden chapter. Thank you for walking this story with me. What began in silence ended in voice. Yes, these stories may start with code, but what gives them meaning is what we carry from them. I shaped this with my own hands, but it's your attention, your presence, that brings it to life. If it stayed with you, don't let it fade. Like it, share it, and if you're ready, subscribe and meet me in the next story. Because this chapter may have closed, but we are far from finished.